Hey everyone, welcome to your final unit for language arts this year. Today I'll do a little bit of explaining kind of what it's going to be about, and you'll get started on that with some of your own work here today as well. This will be a little bit different, of course, than how we might have done it had we been in the classroom, but I think this is a pretty good unit that lends itself well to the distance learning setting. So, without further ado, here are our essential questions. What are the biggest problems faced by people around the world today? And how can I help solve these problems? That's really what we're going to be thinking about as we get through the next month or so of distance learning. We call this the 2030 Project, and that's because it's based on the United Nations goals for the year 2030. So it's about 10 years away. So your learning target for today is that you can understand the United Nations goals for 2030. And there's a few things that you'll see on Schoology that will help you to achieve that understanding. So first of all, what the United Nations is, it's really all the countries of the world that come together and plan for a better world. And that's, really basic understanding of what the United Nations is. But what they have come up with is goals for sustainable development, and they are trying to reach these goals by the year 2030. They're all around this term sustainability. So thinking about society, the environment, and the economy, all those things, making sure that humans are really able to sustain themselves and to be able to live on this planet and live in a world that is a good one. So, with society, it involves education and health and safety and opportunities. Environment involves air, water, land, plants, and animals. The economy, it's been a big topic, I know, lately. Money, jobs, trade, and business, all these things combine under this word sustainability, and that's where these goals come from. So there are 17 of these goals, and you're going to get to know them a little bit better here today. They're all about, again, sustainable development. So I won't bother to read each of these to you right now, but you'll become familiar with them today. The 17 goals also include within them targets. Each goal is broken down into a number of targets, which is a specific, measurable, time-bound outcome which contributes directly to reaching the goal. And that's really where you're going to be getting to focus, is on a specific target in this project, which is underneath one of these goals. So just know that as we go forward. You will get started today first by doing a Schoology submission. So what are the biggest problems faced by people around the world today? I'd like you to think about that. And I know there's, some really big topics involving the coronavirus and other things that maybe are more at the top of our mind right now. But think about, if there wasn't a global pandemic going on right now, what might also be some problems that people are facing around the world today. So think about that in a pretty broad sense, but see what you can do with that in a submission. You can do a video, you can do an audio, you can write it down. Just submit something that's trying to answer that question as best you can. After that, you will get to a video, which is introducing you to the global goals in a little bit better way than I'm able to do, I think. And then you'll see some additional resources that I'd like you to focus on. So I'd like you to engage with at least one of those resources. You could do the GimKit, you could do the Quizlet, and you've probably used Quizlet before, so you can kind of do the flashcards, or there's a few other options on Quizlet for you to look at what we've got there for you about the 2030 goals. And then you could also look at the 2030 goals website that we've created that kind of goes with topics that are involved in the 2030 goals. So just explore each tab on that website, and you'll see a little bit more about what we mean when we talk about these goals for the year 2030. So you can do one of those. If you want to do all of them, great. I think you'll get some good understanding of these goals, which is really our target for today. And yeah, that's pretty much what we need you to do. Otherwise, you could just also do a little personal reflection, thinking about, what do you know about these goals, and what are you thinking about them? What kind of ideas are you maybe even having just being introduced to them today? Of course, I'm always available by email, so feel free to email me. And if you want, today at 2 o'clock, there will be a GIM kit that we'll do with everyone. So not an individual one, but something that we can all compete against each other with. So at 2 o'clock, check your Schoology calendar for the Google Meet, and you can join that GIM kit. Don't have to, but it might be fun. Yeah, that's pretty much all I can tell you right now. We'll see you, and good luck getting started with this unit. Thanks.